Hi everyone, this is a short video about what we've been doing at St Leonard's College since the emergence of generative artificial intelligence in late 2022. So we've instituted quite a few programs around this AI space at St Leonard's over the last little while, and I always like to start with why, as Simon Sinek would say. And I suppose there are four key reasons why. One is, can AI actually make our teachers better here at the college? Can it improve our students' learning? Can we ensure that our students understand why it's important as they go into the world? And finally, can AI help our school as an organization to become even more efficient? So the next circle out is how. How can these questions be answered? And maybe it can be answered through inspiring resource generation. Maybe we can look at inspiring our students through these resources, but also through the dynamic and interesting teaching that AI can contribute to. It can enrich our content with deeper knowledge. We need to also ensure that actually students are prepared for the real world, that they're not only being enriched by AI and looking at this great new content, they're also learning how to use AI. And finally, there are certainly ways that we can use AI within our organization to make the organization work better, within finance, within admissions, within marketing. These are the sorts of areas that make St Leonard's College a really efficient and great place to work, and AI has a place in those as well. So what have we actually been doing in these areas? Well, already, we've looked at things like improving the curriculum in English, in HPE, in entrepreneurship, in psychology, in humanities. For example, in humanities and history, they're using AI to produce an answer that their students then get to review. They get to analyze the AI answer and then try to improve that AI answer in Year 8 history, for example. We're also using it to improve the inspiration of students' learning. Maybe we're using it for research and even idea generation. There's a question around that. How much are we using it for production? And that's something our departments and our teachers are constantly wrestling with. In this new Year 8 program, we're also introducing the idea of students explicitly using AI and learning how to use it, learning how to use great prompts. And finally, I know in admissions, I know in finance, they're already using AI tools to improve the efficiency of our school network. So what have we actually done? Loads of stuff. Since AI was first introduced on the 30th of November in 2022, immediately Tim, who was of course Director of Technology back at that time, did some research on it, report to us in the academic executive, and we at that moment knew that we had to look at our plagiarism and academic integrity policy, and we took that to the academic directorate and we made those changes pretty much straight away. I also went along to Leon Furz's book launch, which was this terrific book called Practical AI Strategies, and then that book was distributed to all of the academic directorate at the start of last year. We had a technology learning spotlight. We had technology teach meets at the start of 2024, and specific staff. I know some of the Chinese staff went along to a specific AI aspects, also some of the art staff. I know the principal, Mr. Clegg, went along to the HMC conference where a lot of that was discussed. It was raised in DigiCon where Vaughan and Norm went last year. It was certainly raised at Reimagine Ed where me and Alex went along to that conference as well. And I'm sure there are lots of other conferences where you saw AI mentioned. So many staff went along to individual training. We then had our wonderful ILCs where a lot of staff presented on their use of AI to the rest of the staff in December of 2024. We've got another learning spotlight this year focused in 2025 on artificial intelligence and large language models, innovation in technology. We had teach meets again in January. We've started our ICT integrators in 2025, and they're actually helping all staff around technology issues, and AI seems to be one of those top ones. We've had a parent engagement group established, and we've also had Matt Koopholtz come and speak to us about AI and the introduction of AI. And finally, we're doing a formal accreditation led by Vaughan Anderson, the RAIL accreditation. RAIL stands for Responsible Artificial Intelligence in Learning. And Vaughan has been working through this accreditation to ensure that our school is really world leading, best practice in its use of AI going forward. Next step, we also need to look at how Ron Ritchart's Cultures of Thinking, a program that we've been doing since 2011, really at the school, how that can link to this new idea of artificial intelligence? Is that starting to restrict thinking? Are there thinking routines that we can use that actually involve AI? How can we make sure it doesn't limit our culture of thinking as we go forward using it? We need to look at the OECD, the Learning Compass, which has come out, and the Teaching Compass, which is due to come out within the next month or so, and how that involves artificial intelligence. We're starting to map it in the curriculum. It's a point on Atlas already. We've had Matt come and speak to all the staff. We need to investigate some of the opportunities, but perhaps some of the implications on well-being and identity as a staff member, but also as a student. How does AI affect our identity? And we need to start looking at our curriculum, not just how we teach, but what we teach about artificial intelligence going forward. So it's an exciting time, and artificial intelligence is going to be part of our world really for the rest of our lives, and making sure that our students understand its importance is also got to be really high up on our list. The learning site's also available with some resources for staff about how to best use artificial intelligence in the classroom, and also some great links for students about how they might use it.